Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast is now on YouTube. Go on YouTube and search Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast and click that subscribe button to never miss an episode. In this episode, we had some audio technical difficulties that we tried to clean up as much as we could, but we did not want to put out this episode. So I hope you'll stick around and bear with us. If not, I'll see you next week. But here's your Butterfree episode. Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of the Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast, or if you follow us on social media, EPEEP for short. My name is Wrestling Chris G, and on the other line with me here today is the one that I hope that I'm not saying goodbye to. It's good old Dougie Fresh. Dougie, man, how you doing today?
Well, I feel awkward now.
Why is that?
Because you know that Digimon podcast I've been teased on the last couple episodes.
Yes.
I've been getting some good offers.
Oh no.
And
you're leaving us.
I don't know. I'm getting good offers is all I'm telling you. I haven't committed to anything, but I'm getting some good offers and I'm liking what I'm hearing, which is awkward because I've never seen an episode of Digimon, so it could be an interesting podcast.
That would be a very fun podcast for you to do. I actually would. You know what? I would pay you $10 just to do an episode of Digimon, just to hear what it would sound like.
That's our April Fool's episode.
Oh, well, you just gave it away.
Ah, shit.
So, hey, everybody, this is another episode of the Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast. And yeah, this is Bye Bye Butterfree, which, if you're thinking about it, I mean, this episode is pretty sad. Because I mean, they kind of make it sad because they give you a montage. They go through like the first couple episodes again with very, very sad music. It's just this episode gets you all up in the feelings.
I was anticipating it was going to do that, right?
Yes.
I came away from that episode more frustrated than anything.
Oh, really? So why were you frustrated?
Well, it tried to be sad. Like it knew it wanted to be sad, right?
Yes.
So I feel like it was trying too hard.
Oh.
And it kept beating you over the head with the fact that this was just the natural order of a Butterfree. You know, they have to go away and they have to go onto the new island so they can start their family. Shouldn't that be true of all Pokemon?
Yes, all Pokemon should want to go away, but once you get with a trainer, you should be able to live. You shouldn't have to go off with another Pokemon to go and be happy because you have all of your friends.
Well, that's another good point. And everybody was just, well, he's a Butterfree trainer. He should know this by now. You know, and we go to that scene with the hot air balloon, and everybody and their mother apparently trained a Butterfree, and
it seems like all the trainers came out of the woodwork, and and obviously we're the raunchy podcast, so we can talk about this.
Oh.
Is it kind of weird that in a way that this was Pokemon's way of talking about like sex, like that these Butterfree need to mate with each other in order to continue living?
Well, it probably sparked some conversations that some parents weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
why does that Butterfree want to go off with that pink Butterfree and start a family? Well, what is love? What love is,
love is when one man or woman, I guess, like another man or woman.
they don't want to be with
Yes.
other people. Well, I guess that's not necessarily true, is
Well, some
it?
relationships they're like, let's get a third party in this, and then
Or a
it becomes,
fourth,
yeah,
or a fifth,
yeah.
or a 16th.
That just gets messy.
That's called a cult.
As I look over my shoulder for someone to put a bag over my head. I'm being taken. Okay, so this has just gone down a real deep end, and we need to get back on track now, Doug.
Think your wife would
So
track him down?
what's up?
I said, you think your wife would track him down for you?
Oh, she's a detective in itself. She'll know where I'm gone before I'm even gone.
At least till the kids are 18.
She, yeah, because she'll be waiting at the damn door for me, for them to drag my ass in there and go, are you okay? You're gonna give my husband back. How did you? I already knew. I'm
She
from the
would
future.
too. She's got that radar, man.
I'm from the future. So
She's a Terminator.
no, you didn't just call Stephanie a Terminator.
Well, you did. I just put a name to it.
So, okay. So this episode is called Bye Bye Butterfree, and it's the same in Japanese, so there's no translating. But this episode premiered in Japan of August 19th of 1997, and here in the States, October 5th of 1998. And what we like to do is we like to put a historical fact to the date. So, Doug, again, and I at this point, I'm just gonna throw the papers up in the air and just say I give up because I don't think there's any coming back now where I'm gonna start going first. So go ahead and take this one because I thought I had a really good date in that when 1962, but your ass went and was like, no, I'm gonna find something in the 1940s. So go.
I was gonna beat you anyway, because I'm pretty sure my other one was from like 42 or something. Maybe 43. I think it was 43. So I was gonna beat you
Yup.
regardless. But on October 5th, 1940. Oh shit. 1940. Shush.
2.
7.
Oh, 7.
Harry Truman, then President Harry Truman, makes the first ever televised presidential address from the White House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's something. That's it.
The
That's history.
that is history. I was gonna go baseball, but I changed my mind because I didn't particularly. Actually, I was gonna go baseball the last couple. I really didn't like my baseball fact for last week, and I kind of liked my baseball one for this week, but this one is literal history. And considering that we have a president that prefers to live his life on television or on Twitter, I figured it was relevant.
So mine, of course, I like to go TV and movies. My date, and actually I got two because I see something interesting right underneath, and I'll just give a little tiny shout out to it after I give mine. But 1962, Dr. No, the very first James Bond film based on the novel by Ian Fleming starring Sean Connery, premiered in London on this day.
I did not
And
know that was the first Bond film.
neither did I until I was looking things up. So, I mean, and me and you were poking fun and we were like, can't they just kill off James Bond and just like as one of those one-off movies and like continue the franchise, but just have them die in a movie. Because I mean, they had Batman die in a movie before,
They have.
so how come James Bond can't die?
I feel like it would be an insult, right? Like if you go to a James Bond, I mean, obviously nobody's going to movies these days anyway. But if you're sitting there and you're watching a James Bond film and it's 2 hours and 15 minutes or whatever the fuck, and then the dude dies and you go, well, he died. It's like that's cool, you know, a nice period on the James Bond franchise. All the actors, you know, Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Pierce Brosnan, um, Daniel Craig, you know, all those guys. Probably missing a couple, whatever. Um, you know, that's cool. That's a nice way to end it. And then you find out that there's going to be a new film in 2 years. It's like, don't you feel like you got kicked in the dick?
Just a little bit.
You know, because it's, you know, that's a movie, that's a moneymaker. You know, you're not going to end that franchise unless you absolutely have to. You know, it's like freaking.
Well, why the fuck would they kill off Batman?
Well,
No, there was there's an animated movie.
well, okay. There's
of
there's your argument right there.
No, because it was made by DC.
There's your argument. It's fucking animated. You couldn't go on and kill Christian Bale, you know, in The Dark Knight, and then have somebody completely different come back for freaking Dark Knight Rises.
Well, fuck, they killed Superman in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, but the same guy coming back, or came back, or whatever the fuck. Well, he came back. Came back in that film. No, that was the end of the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the end.
That
He was
the end.
dead.
Well, you'll forgive me.
Superman.
We were falling asleep to that. So.
Yeah, we did.
We were so hyped to see that movie. You remember going to that movie? We were so hyped.
Yeah, we were like, oh man, this movie's gonna be great, and we should have really listened to those reviews before going to that movie.
I think I deliberately stayed away from reviews. Now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't done that since.
Because I think we wanted to be surprised going into that movie, and then we were like, well, fuck, I think I fell asleep in the middle of that movie.
Everybody I went there with says I fell asleep. I don't remember falling asleep, but if this many people are saying it, I must have.
Because you did.
Well.
But side note to all of this, on October 5th of 1964, PBS.
You got anything other than that? Like, what was their first program?
It doesn't say. It just says 1964 Kicks TV, Channel 9 in Redding, California, and then it puts in quotations, PBS begins broadcasting.
Oh, good shit.
So, yeah, there's no telling what the very first broadcast was. I mean, obviously, growing up in the 90s, as we both did, all I knew about PBS was Arthur and Dragon Tales and like all these
come on, you watched Barney and Sesame Street.
I did. You know what I just found? Speaking of Sesame Street, because my daughter loves Sesame Street. Did you know that Sesame Street tackled in an episode HIV?
Yes, I think I do remember either hearing. I might have even seen a clip or two. I remember because there was a whole big kerfuffle.
Yeah, there's a puppet. Her name is Kumi or Kumi, Kumi, and the puppet is HIV positive. And they had to have the whole episode where you can't get HIV just by touching someone and all other stuff. And they went into detail as to how you can get it and people that live with it and people that die from it and what to do when people die from it.
What do you mean what to do when people die from it?
Well, Big Bird was, and yes, I watched the episode because it was just one. I was going down the list of episodes. So, I mean, every day it's like 2 episodes of Sesame Street. So we just happened to come across this one, and this one caught my attention. So I watched it with my daughter, and Big Bird in the episode was very, very sad. And one of his friends, who was a human, passed away from HIV. And um, they had to explain to Big Bird that everybody dies at some point, and Big Bird was just like sad and had to learn that people don't live forever.
Well, that's a
And
fine lesson to learn.
yeah, and the puppets were all scared of this girl because they all thought that they can get HIV just by touching because the girl put her arm on one of the who's on Cookie Monster's shoulder, and Cookie Monster freaked the fuck out
Well, that was
and
the
was like,
whole
"Oh,
thing. That was the whole thing back in the '90s when Magic Johnson was HIV positive. You know, he's a basketball player, so you're running up and down the court with a guy for 3 hours sweating and bumping up against him if you're guarding him. Ignorant people
yeah."
were like, well, if he gets cut and I'm up and I'm guarding him, I'm gonna catch that shit. And the poor guy had to retire,
Yeah.
because people were just ignorant and misinformed.
So, I mean, he's doing well now for himself. TV, he's still on TV. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I could go into some things about old magic. This isn't the podcast for it.
yeah. But yeah, I just that was a little side note that in 1964 PBS began broadcasting in Redding, California. So good stuff.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
I should probably
So
pause this because I'm 5 minutes into this episode.
so all right, let me go ahead and get this all up and running. So So, unlike last week's episode, Doug, we start this episode with the trio and Pikachu walking in. Pikachu just looks so happy.
Pikachu, I made this comment about Brock earlier about being happier than a pig in shit. Pikachu's just bopping along, just doing its thing.
Pikachu must have just gotten a bath, got his fur combed because he looks all shiny and just he's just happy. But so is Ash, Misty, and Brock. Today was one of their good days. They woke up, they're getting ready to go to the next town, and they're all just trailing along, trying to go to the next town.
Till they almost walk off this damn cliff.
That seems to be their MO. They're either getting chased by a beach, falling off a cliff, or falling into a hole at the beginning of any of their episodes. So it doesn't surprise me that Brock, being the leader of the map, is leading them right towards a cliff to their terrifying death.
No, I'm surprised it was Brock. If it was Ash, he would just be gung ho. He wouldn't even stop. They'd have to pull him back from midair, like the old Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I know. Or Ash would just be like, all right, so the town's over there, so I can jump into the water right here and just swim over to the next island. Because that's 10-year-old Ash's motivation.
Right. Gotta focus on that next badge.
But Misty even points out that because they're all just looking over this cliff, and Misty's just like, yeah, fall from here is just game over for everybody. So she knows what's up.
What do you mean by she knows? You mean like she understands gravity and physics?
Yes.
Okay.
She knows if she falls and hits that rock, it's kaplat.
That's it. That's over. a short
Yes.
series.
Well, this was a good podcast, Doug. Uh, so, but yeah, Brock is looking around and then ends up finding a small trail right off of the cliff from where they are that they can continue walking to go around this watery, cliffy death.
Which is handy, because cliffy death just doesn't sound good for anybody.
No. So, but as they're looking at this this little trail, Ash looks up and sees a bunch of sparkling things in the air. But Doug, what are these sparkling things in the air?
They are Butterfrees.
Oh my God. Okay, okay. And I kid you not, Doug.
What
You
happened?
need to freeze frame. So go and I'm gonna tell everybody that's watching along or is going to watch this episode back, when the camera pans up and you see all these little lights, if you freeze the frame as soon as it gets up there and you're looking at all of the little lights, all the lights are in the shape of a Butterfree.
Oh, shenanigans.
Did you did you see? I swear I just noticed it right now because
No.
I freeze framed it and there it is.
Would you look at that? It's almost like
That
they know what they're doing or something.
that's pretty cool, right?
I
I'm
wouldn't.
glad I caught that.
I wouldn't think of that. I'll tell you that much.
But now that I pointed it out, you can see it, right?
Well, it's like fucking Nurse Joy's hat.
So yeah, everybody, they put a little Easter egg in this at the beginning of this episode that, of course, what we're looking at are a bunch of Butterfree in the air, but from far away, everything, the lights and all the Butterfree are in the shape of a Butterfree. It's pretty cool.
It's not bad. Nice little, like you said, Easter egg.
So, but yeah, it's at this point that Brock knows what's over there. He basically says it's all these Butterfree, and it looks like it's their mating season. So they're all over there, and they're getting ready to mate.
And what does Brock say? Because Ash has this big reaction before we go to the title card.
So let me see. Oh, they he talks about how the Butterfree they lay all of their eggs in the sea.
Right.
That's weird.
That is weird.
But I mean, I guess how does that not drown the Caterpie?
Well, because the eggs, would the eggs float up to the surface and then
They go somewhere. So are they trying to say that these Caterpie have actual Pokemon eggs?
that would be my understanding.
Okay, makes sense. I'll jump on that bandwagon.
People are yelling
But
at their phones right now, going, "You stupid!"
you stupid son of a bitch. But yeah, Ash has the line where he's like, "Well, does this mean that my Butterfree's gonna go too?" And Brock basically says, "Yeah, at some point."
Well,
And
he says he has. He basically says he doesn't really have a choice. He says if you want your Butterfree to ever start a family, he's got to go.
then we get the whole title screen because Ash is freaking out because he goes in his pocket and grabs Butterfree's Pokeball and just takes it out, and then we go to the title screen. Like, he's scared now. He doesn't want to get rid of Butterfree because Butterfree was his first Pokemon.
And we just went through the whole thing with the trading fiasco.
Yeah. So he just got his Butterfree back. Now he doesn't want to go and give it away again.
Well, he wouldn't be giving it away per se.
Oh, bullshit.
He wouldn't be giving it away. He would be letting it go.
Let's get to the end of this episode, and you tell me if he's giving it away or not. I think
Well,
he's giving it away.
you know my question at the end of this episode. I mentioned it to you last week off air.
Yeah. But we answered that question, though, too.
And we did. And we'll do it again on air when it's time. Because it's still valid.
It is. But after we go from the title screen, where the hell did Ash, Misty, and Brock get this damn hot air balloon?
The same place they got that boat a couple episodes ago.
You see what I'm talking about going from one extreme to another? Like, I get you only have 18 fucking minutes, but I mean, people have to review this stuff, Pokemon. Come on.
Bro, you gotta go. Like you said, you only have 18 minutes. You're focused on kids. Kids have no attention span. You gotta go. Bright colors, loud noises. You gotta go. You can't be standing there having them spend 5 minutes trying to barter to borrow a freaking hot air balloon. You gotta go.
I guess so. So it's at this point. Apparently, Brock has been in some hot air balloons before because he knows how to work this thing. There's no guide. There's no anyone around.
He's seen a lot in his 15 years.
Yeah, he has. So, yeah. Even though his eyes are closed.
Oh, now, come on now. Come on.
I'm joking.
What are you doing? What are you, Jesus Christ.
I'm joking. Okay. Okay. Let's just put it this way. We do see Brock's eyes in a couple episodes at some point. This motherfucker's eyes are closed. Like he goes through life squinting.
Jesus Christ.
He does he not?
Well,
okay.
This was a fun podcast.
Look at Ash and look at Brock.
What's your point?
I see Ash's bright brown eyes, and I see Misty's bright blue eyes, and then I just see Brock just going, damn, this sun is bright.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. So, all right.
Damn, this sun is bright.
So they go off into the air, and as soon as they get up into the air, this is where Ash is like, all right, well, I think it's time. Butterfree, go and fly with all the rest of these Butterfree.
And he says, go get him. And poor Butterfree goes off and tries to go get him, and he can't get him.
No, because for some reason, all the other Butterfrees are all made it up already, and they don't want anything to do with his Butterfree. Kind of makes his Butterfree feel pretty like dejected.
Yeah, no, I mean that was that
Yeah, none of the Butterfree that were there, none of them wanted to just talk to him and anything. Like he flew up to like maybe 10 different Butterfree in the air, and they all just turned their heads away. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Who are you? Oh, you have a trainer? I don't want to talk to you.
And old Brock, pretty girl goes floating by.
And of course, he goes all gaga.
He literally goes nuclear.
You wanna tell what he does?
I mean, his head lights up, and he goes, ugh. And then he freaking calls Butterfree over, and he goes, all right, Butterfree, you see that lady's Butterfree over there? That one, go find that one. And Ash is like, well, Ash is like, well, Brock, calm down. And Brock goes, you don't understand. If two Butterfree get together, their trainers get friendly with each other, and then they can, and I'm sitting there going, whose fucking Butterfree is it, first of all? And then Misty whomps someone and says, quit trying to interfere in Pokemon love. I mean, she fucking brains him. And then, Butterfree's over there, and he spots this pink Butterfree, which we don't explain how she's pink. She's the only pink one out there.
This was the introduction of what they call shiny Pokemon in Pokemon.
I retconned that she had a lot of a specific berry.
What happened?
She had a lot of a specific berry.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my.
But are you familiar, Doug, with shiny Pokemon?
I've heard the term. I
Oh,
couldn't.
so in the Pokemon series after you were, because your last game was what, Ruby and Sapphire,
Ruby and
right?
Sapphire. I got Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I don't think I ever seriously played them.
Okay. Speaking of, there's a big rumor going around that they're bringing all the old games to the Nintendo Switch, and that the anniversary game is coming out, and they're just like they did with Mario, and they brought all the Mario games to the Nintendo Switch. They might be doing that with all the Pokemon games next year because they copywritten what was it the um every Pokemon game anniversary or something along that they put through the copyright works already. So they're in the works of doing something big next year.
Hmm.
So it might be your time to go and get a Nintendo Switch so you can play some of these Pokemon games.
Calm the fuck down. I just spent $800 on a PS5.
I'm spending your money for you.
Just shut up.
So, but yeah,
Told you about that baseball team.
you better keep your mouth shut about a damn baseball team. That ain't
Yeah.
happening. So with Misty bonking Brock in the head, Butterfree comes over and Misty tries to be the nice girl and just tries to uptalk Butterfree and says, "You have to really get to know these Butterfree. Go find yourself a Butterfree and try to get to know her."
And
And Butterfree just flies away and just goes to try to find a Butterfree.
he goes straight for that pink one, and he's trying to do the mating dance, and the poor the pink Butterfree's not giving him the time of day, and he's poor Butterfree's just kind of gets a little desperate. I mean, call fair fair, and he gets smacked.
Yeah. And I didn't end up finishing describing what shiny is.
No, you didn't.
So in Pokemon, um, every single Pokemon has what they call a shiny version, and a shiny version is a different color of the Pokemon uh, in the game, and it's basically a rare Pokemon.
I see.
So you have like a 1% chance of finding a shiny of your Pokemon out there somewhere. But when the Pokemon comes on, there's a big ring that comes around your Pokemon. Your Pokemon's a different color and it goes ba ba. And it's basically just saying, "Oh, I'm shiny." Like I just caught a shiny Giratina Pokemon in my Pokemon Go game. And that was caught at 12:01 this morning. I was so happy. Just saying.
Go to bed.
I couldn't fall asleep. So I did one last raid and I caught it. And I was like, no shit. And I had to make sure not to show my son today because my son, no joke, has been hunting for this specific Pokemon for a long time. He
Oh
wants
shit.
it, and because it's blue and gold,
Right.
and he wants it so bad. I can probably screenshot to you what he looks like. Actually, I will. I have it right here on my phone as we're doing this.
So
This
Butterfree gets smacked, and he's
Yes.
gone. He says, "Fuck this. Fuck everything. I'm out of here."
Hey, he just gets so discouraged.
Well, man, you got smacked in the face. I'm not gonna stick around. Somebody smacked me in the
Yeah.
face. There was a lot of Butterfree. I could have figured something out.
So here we go.
So they find Butterfree eventually, just kind of hanging out by a tree, and Pikachu kind of gives them the Pokemon pep talk. Butterfree's not really having any of it, and
Just flies away.
well, no, he's just kind of sitting there, and Ash goes, "Well, maybe Dexter knows some tricks," and I'm sitting there going, "Motherfucker."
So off topic real quick. So I sent it to you. It's gonna say that I got my Pokemon from Germany, but I used a remote raid pass because I found someone online that was doing raids and they invited me. So that's how I caught it.
I see.
Just so you know.
Is that
But
supposed to be you?
yes.
Hmm.
Well, that you can't really make your character. I mean, you can make your character. Oh, is that supposed to be me? No, that's the Team Valor leader.
I see. I was like, but you're a woman.
Yeah,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
no.
It's fucking 2020. But this is a hell of a way to find out.
So shut up.
Maybe there won't be a baseball team.
No, I was doing what they call appraising my Pokemon, and it was a 3-star, just almost a 4-star, just badass, and I was getting ready to show it off.
I gotcha.
But yeah, Ash, Ash is up talking Butterfree. Butterfree goes back over. Butterfree gets rejected by the pink Butterfree pretty hard, and Butterfree kind of gets sad and just flies away from everybody.
Right. And then they have to, pardon me, they have to track him down.
Which doesn't take long.
No, it doesn't. And they find him, and Pikachu's kind of, there, kind of like, come on, buddy, you're great. You're a catch, and Butterfree's just not having any of it.
And
Ash is
here
like,
comes Ash.
maybe Dexter knows something. And
Well, it wasn't even just Dexter, but Ash is sitting there. Who the hell has Ash ever loved that he's trying to tell Butterfree what to do?
he loved his mother.
So you're telling me everything he's telling his Butterfree in this episode is what he tells himself about his mother?
Or his mother told him about himself. I don't know. He's 10. He can't.
Or maybe that's what his dad used to say before his dad went off to war.
That's a maybe.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
would accept that as a maybe.
Sweet. Score 1 for me. So, but yeah, he's telling Butterfree to like use a jazz hands, Misty's. Let's see. Oh, okay. This is what they were talking about. Uh start talking about making Butterfree look tough. So telling Butterfree to basically go out there, find a Pokemon up there or another Butterfree, battle that Butterfree to show them that you're tough. And Missy's like, yeah, go ahead, go in there and get the first punch. Just lay it in there to make it seem like you're all big and tough.
Well, no, it's not so much. She was basically saying to approach love like a battle. You gotta land the first shot to make it seem like you care the most. And Brock is kind of sitting there, and all of a sudden he kind of snaps, and he's like, "Well, I think I know a little something." And he's like, maybe a new look will do something. And then he ties the
Yellow bow.
little bow around his neck, and he's looking all sharp, and they get back up in the air, and they find the pink Butterfree again, and like, Butterfree, show him your gust, and he does the gust, and he show him the quick attack, and he's doing it, and it's not having any effect on this pink Butterfree, and
This pink Butterfree was playing hard to get.
uppity.
Like, yeah, like this was a high-end Butterfree. This Butterfree's like, I'm the prettiest one out here. You're not gonna get me. And I love how they had to make this Butterfree pink in order to show that it's a girl Pokemon.
Well, I don't know if I subscribe to that, because he was going up to just some regular purple Butterfree before. It's just, of course, the Butterfree that we're concerned about is going to go after the pink one.
Yeah.
because we don't want
So,
the little kids to be thinking too much.
and we're not going to have any question that it's not another boy Butterfree, even though this Butterfree could be. I mean, we don't know. It's 2020.
Well, it wasn't when they were doing it.
But at this point, everything's failing for Butterfree, and then out of the blue, of course, we get Team Rocket because what's a Pokemon episode without some foolery in their lives?
About 5 minutes shorter. Yeah. So Team Rocket has a helicopter, with a big old net, and they're literally just floating by and catching all the Butterfree while all the trainers can do nothing about it. Seems like they get every Butterfree up there except for Ash's Butterfree.
Yeah, of course, because Ash's Butterfree is smart.
Well, oh, I have a question.
Yes,
Because I just saw the act break again. What was the who's that Pokemon?
it's Butterfree.
Wasn't it already Butterfree?
It might be. You're asking me, and I'm not watching that version. I'm watching on the Pokemon website.
Wasn't maybe it wasn't. I'm trying to think of the episode where Butterfree evolved. It probably wasn't Butterfree then, was it?
No, no,
Okay.
that was, um, you know, I think it was. So who's that Pokemon of this episode be?
I mean, you only see
I would,
Butterfree.
let's see. Um, uh, is there any way that you could pause the recording?
No,
Let's
because
see.
I know where you're going, and it's already 11:30.
Oh, let's see. Pokemon episode 20. So this will be actually episode 20 then, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's find out who this Pokemon is. Dun dun dun. Oh, it's actually coming up. Ghost of Maiden's Peak. So I actually got to put in 21.
It's
Wow.
not on the. It's not on the Poke Wiki. I quit.
Oh, it's not. Oh, son of a bitch. Uh, let's see.
Butterfree. It
Pokemon.
is Butterfree.
It is Butterfree. Okay, cool.
So I don't know. The episode where I'm thinking was probably Metapod.
It probably was. It was probably either Metapod or Caterpie.
So, like we said, Team Rocket's up there in the helicopter with the giant net, catching all the Butterfree except for the one that matters. Pardon me. And they're all smug and proud of themselves. And
And, this is the point in the episode where Ash's Butterfree starts to get some balls on him, and he starts flying up against Team Rocket to try to free all of these Butterfree because now he's mad because his love just got caught.
but he's an idiot because he's headbutting the friggin' helicopter. He's trying to use sleep powder against the freaking blades of the helicopter, and obviously they're not having any effect. And he's getting beat up, and you can see it. Ash is getting frustrated, so he's like, I'm going to call out Pidgeotto, and Misty stops him. Because Misty goes, if you call out Pidgeotto, how do you think Butterfree's going to feel? He's out there fighting for something he loves. So once again, freaking Misty's out there cutting balls off of guys.
Yeah.
Which
So
is a fair
it's
point, but still.
but it's at this point that Team Rocket actually gets away. So Ash, Misty, and Brock fly to an unbeknownst area,
Well,
and they have to go and find Butterfree
yeah.
within all these rocks.
And luckily for our heroes, the fog lifts, and they're able to locate Butterfree.
Looking all beaten up.
And Ash asks Butterfree if he knows where the other Butterfree went, he's nodding his head, and he says, "Is the pink Butterfree with him?" And he's nodding his head. And, all right,
Of course, because that's the only Butterfree that matters.
and all right, lead us the way. And Team Rocket are held up in a warehouse, looking at the net full of
The
Butterfrees.
the only warehouse in this whole entire mountain rocky looking area.
And yeah, exactly right. And Meowth is having a fantasy about being in Giovanni's lap again and being the favorite.
Let's not take note that Giovanni's face is still blacked out because we have no idea who this trainer is yet,
Well, of
or
course,
who
you
the big boss is.
can't give up on that gimmick. And then the windows break out of the warehouse, and we get our heroes showing up, and we get a knockoff version of the Team Rocket theme, which it's like it's only been 21 episodes. What are you doing?
But we can't really just say knockout. It's Ash, Misty, and Brock are doing the Team Rocket lingo. It's funny.
And
Brock just looks all sorts of creepy.
Freaking Butterfree starts putting in work, taking out Team Rocket. And then he goes over to the net. He's just headbutting the freaking net, and he's just bound and determined. And you can see it's having an effect on the pink Butterfree. You can see she's starting to tear up a little bit.
Well, hold on. You're going really fast. You skipped a part. So Misty, of all people, that said, Ash, don't send out your Pidgeotto because how would that make Butterfree feel? Because Butterfree needs to be the hero. Her ass sends out her damn Starmie to chase off Team Rocket.
It's a different circumstance.
No, bullshit.
It is because Ash was ready to call back Butterfree in place of Pidgeotto. Starmie was just there to assist Butterfree.
All right, I guess. But yeah, Butterfree starts hitting the nail like crazy, and the pink Butterfree starts falling madly in love with this Butterfree. Like, man, this Butterfree is gonna save me. He's gonna be my hero.
And he goes up against the net probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8 times. I mean, a decent amount. And he finally, finally breaks the net free. And the Butterfree leak out, and Team Rocket is,
takes a hammer to Starmie, which Starmie gets no love again.
Yeah, that's Starmie, man. I don't know. I'd be quitting, I think.
I don't think Misty would be my trainer anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. And
got a fucking hammer to the face.
Team Rocket's trying to catch the freaking Butterfree as they're being let out the doors. Not having any luck. Butterfree's standing there. He's exhausted. I mean, he's absolutely had a day.
And what about Misty? Where the hell did she get a water, bazooka to bring her Starmie back to life?
Same place Chessie got a flamethrower last week.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think the pink Butterfree is about to come over and say something to Butterfree, but James interrupts with a sledgehammer. But the threat of something happening to pink Butterfree is enough for Butterfree to have one more burst of energy and knock the absolute crap out of James, sending Team Rocket bailing to the helicopter.
So they can just leave.
And go catch the Butterfree again. And they're tracking him again, and they deploy the net, and the pink Butterfree at this point is traveling with Ash and company, and Pikachu says something to Ash's Butterfree, hops on his back,
and just jumps onto the helicopter, and Pikachu just gets this cute look because like I'm gonna shock you, and Team Rocket say no, 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 no,
No,
and Pikachu's like I'm gonna shock you.
Team Rocket. So Pikachu's on the window, like looking like one of those Garfield flings from back in the day. And Team Rocket's going, he's gonna shock us. And Pikachu's revving up, and he's gonna shock us. And Pikachu's revving up, and you can see sparks flying. He's gonna shock, and it keeps getting faster and faster every time they come back. And he just goes, oh, and the freaking helicopter blows up, and Butterfree brings Pikachu back, and the pink Butterfree flies up to Ash's Butterfree and starts doing the courtship dance to him, and freaking
Mm.
Ash's Butterfree's almost crying. Misty's
'Cause
all mushy, and
he's so happy, and Ash looks so happy at this point too. But this is when the episode starts getting sad, because we go straight from that to the nighttime, and they're all standing on the cliff that they were originally on to begin with, and it's now time for Ash to say goodbye to Butterfree.
he goes up to them both, and both Butterfrees are kind of standing there, and he says, "This is a good Butterfree. You treat him well," and and Butterfree, you can kind of see a little bit of resistance, like he doesn't want to go, but Ash knows he needs to go. And
Ash doesn't even say bye to his Butterfree. He's so like sad that he just puts his hat over his face and just looks down. Brock and Misty are waving by. Pikachu's waving by and crying, and Ash is just he wasn't having it. And then we go through the big montage of him catching Caterpie.
lazy storytelling. This is the cheapest trick in all of animation. This is a montage, so we don't have to do additional new footage. Let's see. When does this montage start? Because I didn't track this. I mean, I was aware of it. So the montage starts at 1755, and it goes until
It goes
until
until 1909.
1909. So
You got a minute of all old clips.
got them, yeah, so that you could just tack on to not even the end, and then once we get out of the montage, that's what snaps Ash out of it, and he's got tears in his eyes, and he's waving goodbye, and Butterfree turns around, and he's full on crying, and Ash is grinning like an idiot. I mean, you can tell he's gonna be sad as soon as they turn around and start walking away, but he's accepted it, and Pikachu jumps on his back, and he's reminded that he's still got Pikachu, and he's still got the four others, and this is where I want to bring up what I brought up to you off air last week, because this is the end of the episode. We get a nice shot of the sunset with the Butterfree sparkles in the distance. I mean, it's a real pretty shot. Ash now has an open spot.
Yes.
In his Poke belt. That's
yes,
not
he
right,
does.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Should
he call up Krabby?
Well, should Krabby not automatically be called?
Well, no, because I mean, when you have an open spot on your belt in the original Pokemon game, the last Pokemon you caught doesn't automatically come out of the Pokemon machine.
But you're damn well aware that you have an open spot, and you go, "Oh, let me go to a Pokemon Center and fill that back up."
Yes, that's what a normal and good trainer would do.
Right.
But Ash is not that.
Ash could have gotten to a center, called up Oak, said, "Hey, give me that Krabby. I've got an open spot. What happened to your Butterfree? Oh, Circle of Life." Ash could have been training that Krabby. He could have gotten himself a Kingler.
He could have, yes.
Lazy.
Lazy storytelling.
Lazy storytelling, lazy trainer.
And let's not mock off that. They played the theme song to the Pokemon episode in this sequence as Butterfree is flying away to give you that extra sad feel. And I think this is where you probably hit the fan and you were like, okay, they're trying too hard, and now I can't be sad anymore because now I want to dance.
No, I wasn't. I was more angry. I was like, you couldn't even do an original song to go over your montage.
No, not at all.
No, I was done with this episode at this point.
But yeah,
Lazy.
Brock then goes over to Ash and was like, this is basically the circle of life. You let Butterfree go. This shows that you're a very strong trainer, basically. And Pikachu pops onto his shoulder, giving it basically another thumbs up, agreeing with him. And they all watch Butterfree fly away, and that's the end of the episode.
Lazy.
Yeah.
No, I mean it was a good episode. I just they wanted you to be sad, obviously, and you kind of said, we never see this Butterfree again, so he's not like Charizard where he shows back up. Obviously spoilers for a bit down the line for Charmander. And that kind of is frustrating that we don't come across this Butterfree again. Even just in passing. Like Ash just happens to look up and sees a Butterfree with a yellow bow around his neck.
And realize that it's his Butterfree.
And he's trailed by like he's got the pink one by his side and he's got, little ones, and you go, oh, that's nice. Nothing.
Well, okay, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but there's one point where Ash gets rid of his Pidgeotto.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Hold on. I mean, it's everybody already knows this episode, but he promises to come back for his Butterfree. He actually goes back to that town in a future episode and does not, or well, he's within an hour away from his Pidgeotto and doesn't go back for his Pidgeotto. And it was pointed out to me on Twitter. They were like, how does he not go back to a Pokemon that he promised that he would go back to, and that Pokemon only stayed there to protect the to protect like the Caterpie and the Spearow and the other Pidgey that were living over there, and that's the only reason. Like maybe Pidgeotto doesn't come back, but at least go back and see if Pidgeotto will come back with you. But Ash never went back for his Pidgeotto.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move. When you have the opportunity, yeah, it might have been an hour out of your way, but you said you were going to be back and you were close enough that you could have. And like you said, maybe Pidgeotto would have been happy and you would have just left it there, but to not even make the effort, that's a little frustrating.
Yeah, it's real frustrating. But yeah, that's the end of the episode, Doug, and we're finished with episode 21.
We can drink.
Yes, we can drink. I can go eat some food. Actually, I'm pretty full now because in between these recordings, I scuffled down a decent amount of Chinese rice.
Oh no, I meant we're 21. We can drink.
We can drink. Yep.
Anyway.
Know what? I might go up and have me a drink.
Anyway. Yeah, so this was this week. It was a fine episode. Ash does not call Krabby next week. Just spoilers.
Spoilers. But next week is the start of another trilogy of episodes that we have coming on. But I guess we can kind of plug it on this one. We're not going straight into that next week. Next week is our movie special.
Oh shoot!
It's Christmas. Christmas is.
See, that's so fucked up. It's not even Halloween here.
I know. Peel back the curtain.
That's so it's barely past freaking Columbus Day.
I know. It was just yesterday. So, yeah, next week is Christmas, and as we promised everyone, we're about to do our first movie review of a Pokemon movie. Pokemon I Choose You, the 20th anniversary Pokemon movie that came out.
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it last week? Or not
Yes.
last week, 2 weeks ago.
So, yeah, it's. Are you ready to do it?
Yeah. I mean, didn't
we low key everybody because we record these episodes so far in advance we completely forgot until I just mentioned it right now because I was looking over the schedule. I was like, oh, it's Christmas next week. So we completely forgot about the movie. So yeah. I mean, we'll stay on schedule. We'll talk about this off air.
Yeah, it's not going to affect y'all.
Yeah. So
you're going to get the movie next week. It'll be grand. It's going to be magic because we legitimately haven't done it yet. Just full transparency.
Oh, we're gonna have to record this movie episode on like a Sunday and not a Tuesday night like we normally do.
Yeah, and it's gonna have to be at like noon or something.
Yeah.
Have to find a week the Bears have the late game or something.
we're gonna have to well we literally have, as of this recording, 2 months to record this damn episode, so we have time, Doug.
As long as it's out by Christmas, we're all right.
Yes. So, all right. Do you have anything else to add, Doug?
I want to be a smartass and say Merry Christmas.
Well, we can't say that yet. That's next week.
Ah, damn.
So, does Hanukkah come before Christmas?
It usually does. I don't know where it goes this year.
Okay, well, if it's Hanukkah.
Wait a minute. Don't stick your foot in your mouth.
This is what I have Doug for, people. Great podcast. Love it. But as he's looking that up, go ahead and
Hanukkah
subscribe.
2020 is the 10th through the 18th of December.
Woohoo!
So we missed that. No,
we're in the middle of it right now.
When's this coming out?
This comes out, I will tell you right now. This episode is going to be premiering on the 19th. So,
happy belated Hanukkah.
Yes, it ended yesterday.
Hope you had a good one.
So, as I was getting ready to say, make sure you hit that subscribe button on iTunes. Leave us a review. Give us a 5-star rating if you love this podcast. But
give us a 5-star even if you hated it. There's no point in giving us a 1-star.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for anybody.
No, it really doesn't.
So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at PokeBreakdown. And we will see you next week for our Pokemon movie, the only one you're getting for free, everybody.
That's a fair warning.
So, because once we get to Pokemon, the first movie, oh, you all right?
No.
He's dying, people. He's dying. He's dying to do this movie. So, you see what I did. But yeah, next week is the movie. So yeah, you'll be getting it for free because once we get to Pokemon, the first movie, once we hit episode like 50 something in this series, that one's going to be strictly under the Patreon. So you'll have to subscribe to Patreon to listen to that episode, which I'm sure some of you will come over to. So
You're gonna want to.
yeah, why not?
You're
I
gonna
mean,
need
we're
to.
we're so
You're gonna want us in your life.
I mean to end our year of 2020 with with a Pokemon movie that we're giving you, and then to hopefully be on a top Pokemon podcast list of 2021, only you, the fans, can get us there. So keep us on that list, keep hitting that subscribe button, and we will see you next week. So, Doug, go ahead and say goodbye, Doug.
Goodbye, Doug, and goodbye to 2020, apparently.
Well, not yet. That's next week.
Ah, shit. Well, the way this is going, we might as well.
I know. By the time we're done with this episode, it's going to be 2021. So, all right, everybody. We will see you next week with what will hopefully be a very, very good Pokemon movie. Pokemon the movie, I Choose You, the 20th Pokemon anniversary. So have a good night, everybody.